All right, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the longest reigning, defending, undisputed Rocky Mountain Pro Tag Team Champions. It's Johnny Casanova, Kaiden Koyama, J.K. Pop. How's it going, my guys?
Hi, what's up, man? Good to be on here. Good to see you.
How's it going?
Great to finally have you. Like I said, the reigning, defending champion, tag team champions. I've been waiting for this for a long time. It's a beautiful Friday. Finally got the guys on here, and I can't wait to dig in and hear what you guys got to say, man.
Absolutely. Hey, like I said, we're excited to be here. So anything you got, we're game to talk about it. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just get right into things. Hey, guys, tell my fans out there, how did you guys get your start in wrestling?
About 4 years ago, Johnny and I we started at the time it was the Mercury Pro Wrestling Academy, now the Al Snow Wrestling Academy. About 4 years ago, we both started separately, but within like a month, 2 months of each other. So we both started training around early 2017, and just started learning under Mercury Kaiden and some of the other coaches at the school at the time as well too. Obviously, lifelong fan myself. Johnny is as well too. So there's always been that itch to get into wrestling. So yeah, about 4 years ago, found the school, did some research, tried to find someplace that seemed like it was very reputable, someplace very trustworthy, where you can get the right training and you can do the right thing and really be able to advance. So yeah, I ended up in the school, just started learning how to wrestle. Didn't really know what I was getting myself into, at least personally, but I've been, like I said, lifelong fan doesn't necessarily translate to being a wrestler a lot of the time. So it was very eye-opening and was just a lot of feeling out because, at least I can't speak for Johnny, but for 4 years later, it's kind of crazy to be where I'm at because of what I never envisioned being a tag team wrestler, actually.
Okay.
Getting into it, that was not my intention, but meeting Johnny, we got along, we hit it off. There haven't been a lot of tag teams out there at the time.
No.
And there's still not a ton. But we saw an opening, being a couple small guys.
Yeah,
sure.
We're always going to be, you're going to put us in the ring against a lot of bigger guys you see even on the Rocky Mountain Pro roster. I mean, we wrestled against the Wake not that long ago, and you can see the size difference. But we really felt the idea of two minds, maybe two small guys, but two minds, two smart guys could work to overcome big guys, learn to utilize the tag team and the aspect of wrestling. So, it was a few months and we joked about it, I think.
Yeah, we were like, we were standing there going, maybe we should do like the two Asian guys in a tag team. And we would just kind of laugh and laugh and laugh. And all of a sudden it was like, we're doing it.
Maybe it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we were really into the idea. So, Anaya was a coach at the time, and he's Anaya, especially at the time, was a big tag team wrestler, Left Coast Gorillas.
Yeah.
So he was really behind the idea because he appreciates and loves tag team wrestling. So he spent a lot of time with us, really taught us a lot of things about becoming a tag team, what it takes to be a team in the ring. A lot of the things that we didn't think about, like getting into tag team matches at first. It was like, oh crap, what can I really do this? This is a lot. There's actually a lot more going on than I realized. But same thing, we still realized we had something to work with.
Yeah. Hoodie actually was sitting down with all the students and was like, you gotta find your niche, right? Like find your way in. There's not a lot of spots in the shows. Right. So find your way in. So we're like, how many tag teams do we really have in Rocky Mountain Pro? Like at the time, maybe 2.
Right.
Or that was even before the tag dudes. I mean, really, the only people I could think of was like the Left Coast Gorillas and Two Cool Dudes. That was the only tag team. So we, got together and was like, all right, let's just do this. There's a need for tag teams. Might as well fill it.
Definitely. That's one of my favorites in pro wrestling is tag teams. We could go on for days about, all of my favorites. But me personally, I've caught myself watching you guys more often than not. And I've seen, just how well you guys work together. If somebody didn't know off the street, they would absolutely think you're brothers. You guys can read off each other, feed off each other. And like you said, to bounce off of what you said there, Kaiden, just it doesn't matter the size. As long as you guys are on the same page, then you know what you're capable of. And that's what I love. And that's why we're shining light on you today here on the Eeez N Beez Podcast. We're talking to JK Pop, tag team champions there at Rocky Mountain Pro. Hey, fellas, let's keep things rolling. I got a few silly questions, few wrestling questions for you. And obviously at the end, we'll turn the table over to you guys, let you kind of put yourself out there as much as possible. But as we were just talking, how you got your start. How about this, fellas? Each of you here, who's your guys' favorite wrestler all time?
You go first.
Oh man, for me, all time has to be Rick Rude.
Oh yes,
it's not a tag team guy. Well, he was Bundy, but like you knew him more for like as a singles wrestler. Like you saw him and you just like, God, I hate that guy.
Absolutely, he
you just saw him, you just hate him, right? Like the mustache, the robe, before you can even see his abs, like he just like it was bad. Like you just hated him. Like I hated him, but like as a kid, but then as an adult, you're like, man, this guy's like, he's good. Like if I ever thought of a pro wrestler, it's Rick Rude.
Absolutely, and great on the mic as well. That's one of my favorite things to introduce to new fans of wrestling when they get introduced to the Rick Rude is, hey, watch what he used to do when he came to, he got everybody's attention right away, so that's great. How about yourself?
For me, Bret Hart. Yeah, he was like my second like the second person that became my favorite wrestler. It was actually first was the Ultimate Warrior because he was so colorful and crazy, and that's actually what got me on to watch wrestling. So I always think of the Ultimate Warrior in a sense, but when especially now as a wrestler, I look back the matches that I love. I always have, like even before I became a wrestler with Bret Hart, especially just as a kid. He wasn't the promo guy, obviously, but he was so good in the ring, and it was so obvious to me because I was an amateur wrestler as a kid too. And I actually was one of those kids that got into amateur wrestling because I love pro wrestling so much. Most of those kids don't tend to make it, but I enjoyed pro wrestling. And it wasn't even until years later that I found out how good of an amateur wrestler Bret Hart was. So I think a lot of what he was doing in the ring, I didn't realize it, but it was very amateur based. At least at the time, I didn't realize it. And it was very similar to what I was doing. Plus, if you look at Bret Hart, when he was starting to get his big push, when he especially from the Intercontinental title run, the WWF on, he was considered a really small guy. You look at it next to like Diesel, or the Undertaker, Yokozuna, all these guys. Yeah. He looked small, so I was so shocked when I found out that, he's billed as like 6'1", 6 foot, 235. I'm like, actually in reality, that's a pretty big guy, but he looked small. So for me, I related to him. And I just was always a Bret Hart guy. And I remember being like about a teenager, and he started to do the pro Canada, anti-America stuff, and I was like, I don't care, he's still Bret Hart,
yeah.
I've always loved this guy. I'll never not love this guy. So yeah, definitely Bret Hart for me.
Awesome, guys. Well, that's two great picks, and I can say that I love both them guys myself. Definitely Bret Hart too. He started as a tag guy. If you think about that, obviously with the Anvil and a huge career there when he started as a tag team, and then transitioned himself, obviously, as you said, got the great big push and became one of the bigger stars, today. So that's cool. Two great guys there. All right, guys, how about this? And let's switch gears. Obviously, a little breakfast topic here on the Eeez N Beez. Tomorrow, you guys are making breakfast for a pro wrestler or wrestling personality. Who are you guys making it for, and what are you making?
For a pro wrestling personality.
Oh man.
Or wrestler. It could be a wrestler or wrestling personality, either way.
I'll take a personality. I'd probably say somebody like Tony Khan, so I can make him some good breakfast and maybe get move on to the big leagues.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Something like that. And it would be actually I was cooking earlier, and Johnny was commenting. He's like, "Man, that smells delicious." So I have a go-to breakfast thing that I make pretty much every weekend. It's chorizo and eggs.
Nice.
I do it nice. I know I do it well. So yeah, I can for sure.
Awesome. And Johnny, how about you, buddy?
Oh man, I don't know. I was thinking, who would be fun to cook for and eat with? Kikutaro.
Okay. Yeah.
I follow him, and I follow him on Instagram. He's always putting up food photos, and I'm like, God, this guy knows how to eat.
All right.
So,
like, that's a good, interesting one. Sure.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
He was really cool. We met Kikutaro at a Lucha Libre and Lab show, and he was a cool dude.
Yeah,
so yeah,
awesome.
I really would like to hang out, and you know,
Cool. All right.
equal
All right.
guy.
That'd be probably an interesting comment. I wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall for that one for sure. Hey guys, how about this? Next week, let's pretend this. Your guys' comic book comes out. What's the name of it?
Oh man, that's a good one. I know. I didn't got it too. We're gonna steal Clerks because we have like for a long time we have a shop that's like our shop is pretty much a corner market. Whatever it is that you're looking for, we have it in the convenience store. We have our own merch. We may or may not have other people's merch, but
official or unofficial.
Official, unofficial.
Right.
You need candy. You need whatever. You need like loose cigarettes. You whatever it is. We have.
Yeah.
If we were doing more of the superhero type comic book, I'd say it would be J.K. Pop Half Size Heroes.
Okay, J.K. Pop Half Size Heroes. Well, then let's throw this in there. Then, what superpowers would you guys have?
Oh man,
if you could have any.
You're the power guy, bro.
Well, but I would probably I'm always I'm a big Wolverine fan. You know, he's a short guy, he's muscular, and his powers. I've always. I mean, you can't take what you can. There's an extreme circumstance to take Wolverine down, but probably the healing ability. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's one of the better ones for sure. Yeah, that's definitely. There's been a lot being able to read people's mind, being invisible, but that's a good one. Healing for sure. Johnny, what do you got?
Oh man, I know some people are gonna hate this, but I'm a big Plastic Man. Mark,
this was coming.
I'm a big Plastic. He's the greatest superhero ever, and he's so underrated. But Plastic Man, he's got the sense of humor. He's pretty much immortal, I guess.
All right.
When Batman puts him over as the most dangerous superhero in the whole Justice League. So cool. I'm gonna go with that whole stretchy kind of goofy guy.
All right, cool. Well, that goes well with what I was expecting. I didn't think that you guys are comic book and superheroes, but it blended in well. Let's switch gears back to wrestling a little bit, guys. How about this? What's your guys' favorite match all time?
Ooh, cool. Yeah.
That is tough. But for me, man, probably Rock and Austin at WrestleMania 17. Not necessarily for the finish. The finish, the McMahon thing, at least I didn't enjoy the heel turn of Austin so much. But I remember being a fan and just that match felt like the biggest thing ever. At least the hype up.
Yeah, it was. It was built up to be. Yeah, I mean, nobody thought it was going to happen, and it happened. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah, so I'd probably that match. I didn't even think about it. It kind of gives me chills just thinking about that. Just people talk about so many other amazing wrestlers too. Not that people crap on Austin or Rock or anything like that, but you know them so much for their promos. Sometimes their work rate inside the ring is really underrated, and just watching those guys just get in there. Maybe now too, especially knowing what I know as a wrestler, they're at the top of their game, and they're just so good at what they're doing in that match that I think that's one of those matches that just cemented my super fandom. That was actually probably the match that got me into tape trading and started watching Japanese wrestling and so many other things and watching Lucha Libre. So I think that match for me, because it was so great, it did so many things too for me as a wrestling fan. So
nice. How about you, Johnny?
Man, I can't even to be honest, I can't think of a greatest match of all time. I can't think of matches that I can say that I've watched over and over again.
Sure.
I would say, brother, that I always watch this match because it's the psychology of it's really, really good and really it's a comedy match. It's Gabai Jichan against how do you say his name? Chima.
Yeah.
So Gabai Jichan basically he's a luchador, but a Japanese luchador, and his whole gimmick is that he's 101 years old.
Okay.
So he just kind of walks around like an old man, takes bumps like an old man, but then like has all of a sudden has this like quick spark, a quick comeback, and then gets cut off because he's old.
Okay.
But like I always watch that match because it's like it's entertaining. It's really like the psychology of the match, especially with Chima, was like really good. He like played to the characters like strengths and weaknesses, and he just kind of played along, and it made sense. The whole match made sense.
One of my favorite things, storytelling, and that sounds exactly what you're kind of talking or telling us right there, is exactly, you know, when you can tell a story inside that ring, it don't matter how old you are, how big you are, how small you are, as long as there's chemistry, psychology between the two wrestlers or four, however may it be, you know, that's the purpose, telling that story and getting the fans at home or the fans live to just draw in. And that's the beautiful part about it. And there's many matches, Johnny, that I can go back and watch many a times that, might not hold a candle on many people's list, but there's just something sometimes about certain psychology that you know, will draw certain people in, and I can agree. But keeping things going, guys, I just got a couple more for you, and then I'm going to turn the table over to you guys, let you guys put yourself out there a little bit before I let you go. But I got to know, hey, who does your guys' tag team style, maybe gimmick or just in general, mimic the most?
And it's a lot of everything.
Yeah, we piece together, like we'll piece together everyone's like.
Let me give you two that I see personally coming up from myself, and I'm not comparing and saying you're exact. I'm just saying a little bit of, if we're mixing together. I see a little bit of old school rockers slashed with Rock and Roll Express.
Thank you.
Recently, just a little bit. Now don't get me crazy out here, but just recently when I saw you guys in your last defense, you know, it was a little bit newer of a tag team going against you from obviously Three Ring Circus, but you know, you guys had a little bit more fire behind you versus, you know, let's say the old school rockers or Rock and Roll Express, you know, the getting the crowd involved. You guys are on point, you're in rhythm, everything's flowing, you know, and that's why you guys are still retaining the titles. This last match, I feel like there was a little bit more fire behind you guys, a little bit more intensity. You know, you guys stepped your game up because it was definitely a size difference and a little bit as who you guys were challenged against. And, you know, that's why I think that maybe not so all the way, those two teams, you know, you guys obviously show a wide variety, and I love that factor. And that's why I'm putting you guys on today to shine the light on you, because you guys need this, deserve this. And I think it's great that you guys are doing what you're doing. So just want to put that out there.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know, like I said, like we piece everything together from different guys, you know, like we watch. I mean, we watch like Demolition Tapes, Brain Busters.
Yeah.
Tajiri and Mikey Whipwreck.
Tajiri, Mikey Whipwreck, Johnny and Kaiden. Yeah. We watch everyone's tapes. We see how they fight, and you know, like that last match at Three Ring Circus, we had to turn it up. I mean, I'm tired of getting. Here's the thing, and I've said it many times. Everyone thinks that we're not a threat because we're the smaller guys, but what do? They come out from under the ring or from the back, and they jump us. If we're
use numbers, numbers.
Exactly. It's like, if we're not a threat, then why would you do that? So, like this time around, it's just like I'm tired. I'm tired of getting pushed around. I'm tired of having to look over my back, look over brother's back, and he's doing the same for me. You know, we put out a challenge, and no one's answered up to our. No one's come up to our face to answer it. They've all come up from behind. We're gonna take those titles. Like, we're here. We're a phone call away. That's all you gotta do is make that call.
Absolutely.
You know, they're also all threatened at the same time because, you know, nobody has all these titles like we have for as long as we have. And I guarantee you plenty of people have doubted us all along the way on probably every title defense. I mean, we've beaten, like I said, we wrestle guys bigger than us. We've been able to beat teams like Fisticuffs. Chongo Bronson's a bad man. That guy is one of the toughest.
Yeah.
I know, period. Bruce. Getting a ring. Bruce is a big bad boy too, you know. Tag dudes. Curtis Cole's incredibly talented. Mercury Aiden trained us. We have a huge size disadvantage against Mercury Aiden as well. He's a lot bigger than us. Like literally everybody we get into the ring with, we always have that disadvantage, but we've learned to master that at the same time. We know our game. We know the JK Pop game. That's what's allowed us to win these matches. That's what allows us to come from behind. That's what allows us to feed off the fans and do the things that we do to hold on to these titles. So, at the end of the day, these teams can be threatened. And at this point, we've beaten everybody.
Yeah, who else is there? We're gonna reach out to everybody, wherever you're at, Texas, Kansas, up north, south, east, west, like wherever you guys are at. Come on out. We're more than happy to take anybody on.
Awesome, fellas. I agree. I can't wait. The list is a mile long who you have defeated. And like I said at the beginning, you guys, the longest reigning defending tag team champions at Rocky Mountain Pro, and now have my respect on everything that you guys have done. And it's time for everybody else out there to get on the board of respect for this tag team, JK Pop. Before I let you go, last thing I got to ask, what is your guys' favorite thing about wrestling at Rocky Mountain Pro?
The people. I've never been around a better group of people in my entire life. Like wrestling is tough. I think everybody knows that getting into it, but like you get into pro wrestling with the goal of, I want to be a wrestler, and you train for that first match. And I can't tell you how many people I've seen train so hard and get to that first match, but then they're done. Like, because there's that, because to keep going, it's like we have to keep setting goals and you have to keep working harder. And the harder you work and the more you aspire to do, the tougher pro wrestling gets. So to have the group of people that we have around us, the support systems, the coaches, the friends, the people that come into town that we get to meet through pro wrestling, like even when we've traveled, the community of professional wrestling is unlike anything I've ever been around in my entire life. It's like I think about things because you wonder, like, how long am I going to be able to wrestle for? How long is my body going to hold up? Right. Types of things. I have a little nephew who's very young. My sister-in-law was even asked, like, well, how old do you think he'll need to be before he can come and see? We were talking about maybe 5 or 6, and I'm like, what am I going to be like in 5 or 6 years? We don't know. It can be very tough sometimes. It can be a grind. It can be physically brutal on you. So to have the support and have the people, it's the best thing that I think you could ask for.
Awesome. How about you, Johnny?
Same thing as the locker room, all the everyone back there. I mean, there's guys that we don't get along with back there, hey, in the Wake, those guys, like Mercury Yaden and Curtis Cole, we don't get along with them. Like, but at the end of the day, like when push comes to shove, like you may not like your cousin, but that's your cousin. And you kind of just want, you have to see them at Thanksgiving or some sort of like family reunion, and it's your blood, and basically that's what RMP is like. They're our family still, like, so we kind of have, just get along.
Awesome. Yeah, great. I agree. There's so many great people there. That's why I love bringing all them people onto my show. And the door is always open. We know going down tomorrow night, guys, on Twitch, some more charge tapings. I know you guys probably got some things up your sleeve. So I'm going to turn the table over to you before I let you go. Is there anything out there you want to ask old Eddie B? And also, I want to turn the table over so you can promote anything you got. Go ahead, fellas.
Well, tomorrow night, I am very excited for. I don't know what they have in store for us. I don't care, to be honest with you, because like we said, we've proven that we're the best tag team around, and we're up for any challenge that comes our way. So we'll see what's in store. Mike Bennett's going to be there tomorrow. I am beyond excited about that personally. I'm a big Mike Bennett fan. I've been a fan of his. I actually remember, like, about a year before I got into wrestling, a year and a half, I actually got to see him wrestle at a Ring of Honor show. And it was, he's just awesome. He's just an awesome guy. So I can't recommend for everybody to subscribe to Twitch. Get on, watch this live. Mike, like I said, Mike Bennett, your tag team champions are going to be there as well too. We're ready for anything and everything. I'm stoked. And even for that matter, any wrestlers listening tonight, there's actually a seminar with Mike Bennett as well too. So I'm going to wait as well.
Yeah, that'll be really fun. Again, doesn't matter who it is. We know everybody back there. We know any tag team that's out there. We've already studied you guys, so we know what's coming. So if another surprise, you know, like it's cool. We'll get over it, and we're gonna beat you.
All right, guys. Well, it's been an honor and a pleasure finally having the reigning, defending tag team champions from Rocky Mountain Pro, JK Pop. Fellas, good luck tomorrow. Can't wait to catch up with you, and we're going to do this again. Good luck. Thanks for coming on again. Is there anything else you got to say before I let you get out of here?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Kaiden Koyama, ProWrestlingTees.com/JK Pop Pro Wrestling as well. Don't forget about your boys. Get some merch. We got some great stuff up there as well too. Hit us up. We're interactive. We love to talk to the fans. We love to see you guys at the shows. We're starting to have some fans back at shows as well too. So we can't wait to see you guys there. But yeah, if you can't make the shows, you're not in Colorado, stream it on Twitch. It's worth it. I think we can stand behind, especially anybody that watched Aces Wild. I'm so proud of not just our match, but like to be a part of that show. Everything about that show was absolutely amazing. So if you're missing out on Rocky Mountain Pro right now, you're missing out on great professional wrestling. It's never been a better time for independent wrestling, and we're kicking down the door in a completely different way. So make sure you subscribe to Twitch.
Yep. For me, social media, Instagram at Johnny Nova, at JK Pop Pro Wrestling. I don't do Twitter that much, so I'm gonna forward it to TikTok. Follow me at TikTok at Johnny Casanova RMP. You might see me do something stupid on there. So,
all right, fellas. Like I said, it's been awesome. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Once again, all you listeners out there, the Rocky Mountain Tag Team Champions, JK Pop.